about something weird that happened to me this week. So I purchased the jumbo pack of the Clearblue to test to see if I conceived this month, because I was just feeling off and I just wanted to see if it was something else going on or I was actually pregnant. And when I checked that 8 DPO, I had like a shadow of a plus line on the test. And when I had checked the following day and did a test with a 9 DPO, like it was pretty much the same kind of line. And then later on when I came back, it was like a blazing positive. And I've never seen that with the Clearblue. I've been using them off and on for years, never seen that before. So I'm like, okay, it must be an EVAP. So I took another one in the afternoon and I got the same thing. It's actually even more apparent, but it was weird because within the time frame, I didn't see anything on the test. So I'm like, this is really weird that this is happening. Like I was thinking to myself, like maybe there's HCG present and it's showing up after the fact, because I did have an issue with that with my last daughter. I had a digital positive and I went to the clinic. Okay, my love. I had a digital positive, then I went to the clinic to get a blood drawn so I can confirm the pregnancy, as well as a urine test there, and the urine test said negative, which was really weird. And I asked for a blood test just to see what my levels were. So after showing them all the positive tests that I had at the house, I literally just took one before coming. They double checked the urine and then they finally came to the conclusion that I was in fact pregnant, but it was just taking a long time to register on their test. So I decided at that point, let me test again the following day to see if it does the same thing, if the line is getting more progressive. So I seen the line, develop within the time frame, and then I watched to see if it did the same thing. So I'll show you, and I'm gonna insert what it looked like. It wasn't as pronounced as the other tests were, but it was still like that. So I'm like, this is like really weird. So I decided to get Pregmate to like check to see if I see anything on that, and I did a live without post me doing the actual test in real time, and I saw a shadow align with that as well. And I wanted to see like if it progresses into something, because I have digitals. I wanted to check with the digital to see if it shows up there once the line gets more defined. But as of right now, I'm in limbo because I really don't know what's going on. Most people will say, oh, just get a first response, don't use blue dyes. I had a first response and I had a defined line on first response. I thought I was pregnant. I took the digital afterwards, it said not, and then I went to get my blood drawn and it said I had 0.1 HCG in my system. And then not last month, in April, March or April, I had an issue with false pregnancy too. I had really like weird tests. Some were positive, some weren't. So I had blood drawn. It said that my blood was less than 3%. So I think I have really wacky hormones after having my last daughter, or it could just be the PCOS acting funny. I don't know, but I just wanted to share this with you guys because I know there's people that may have PCOS, don't know that they have it, maybe going through a similar situation, because I know I was scouring the internet, YouTube, trying to see if other people had experienced what I experienced so I can see what was going on, get a better scope. And I did see a lot of videos on this, and I know, at the end of the day, if anything, I'm gonna go to the doctor. So I'm not on here looking or seeking medical advice. I'm just talking about what I experienced and what I know, and sharing this with you guys. So if you guys come across the same thing, you're not completely confused. So as of right now, I don't know if I'm pregnant or not. Tomorrow, I'm supposed to get my period, I believe, because my period has been messed up since my chemical in September. I've been getting my period like at 8 DPO, 10 DPO, 11 DPO. So based on the track record, I should get my period tomorrow. Not getting really any menstrual symptoms or anything like that. So it could come tomorrow, it might not, I don't know, but I'll keep you guys posted and let you guys know what's going on. All right, peace. So I just wanted to share with you guys something really weird. I purchased the Clearblue, the super value with the 8 regular tests, and they have the 2 digitals. So I started testing pretty early, and one of the reasons why I did was because I was feeling a little like nauseous and like dizzy, and I didn't understand what was going on. And I knew I had just had a period, but my periods have been a little bit all over the place due to my hormones after having my last daughter. So I just took a test to see if it would come back positive, and I used a blue dye. Blue dyes are infamous for evapes or whatever. I'll insert what it looked like, but I'm like, okay, I don't see any progress with it, so it just might be an evap. So being that happened, I decided to track for ovulation for this month, and it's a little bit difficult doing that with PCOS because of the hormones being out of whack. But I did get a peak, and then I started testing afterwards because I was feeling a little bit off, and I wanted to see like maybe there was a possibility that there could have been some kind of conception. So anyway, I purchased a Clearblue, this super pack, just to test to see, and with the 8 DPO, I saw like a faint line when I did it, and within the time frame. And I held on to it because I wanted to see if there was any kind of line progression, so I could kind of see like if this is a viable pregnancy or if this is just like a chemical, because I've been having a lot of those lately. So as you can see, like I took this at 8 DPO, I'm 10 DPO now, and it looks like it did when I dipped it into my urine. It hasn't deepened or anything like that. So I decided to take one the following day in the morning, and this one looked like 8 DPO. It might have been like a little bit deeper, only but slight change in color. And I set it down. When I came back to it, I saw this. So I was like, whoa. I'm like, I've never seen this happen before. And I had tests, I kept them after using them because I was tracking for a previous pregnancy. And I thought, this is really strange. I'm like, okay, maybe this is an evap because I didn't see this within the time frame. So I'm like, let me just see if when I take another one, because I took one in the morning and then I took one in the afternoon. Let me see what the afternoon one looks like. So this is the afternoon one. When I took it, I didn't see anything on it within the time frame. Like it was like not even like a shadow of anything like I seen on the first two. But when I came back to look at it later, it had a stronger plus sign than the one before. So I was just like, okay, like, is this all like evapes, or is maybe the test picking up the HCG after the fact? Because I did have an issue with that with my second daughter. Like I got a positive pregnancy test at home with the digital and everything, but at the office, the clinic, when I went to confirm, they said I wasn't pregnant. And when they finally discovered that I actually was pregnant, they were saying the tests were taking longer to register than they usually wait for. And I also had blood tests done to see what the HCG was, and at the time I was at 29 HCG. So I was like, okay, maybe that's a possibility, I'm not sure. And I haven't missed my period yet. My period has been very wonky. Like I don't even get to like 13, 14 DPO before I start bleeding. I start bleeding around like 11 DPO. So technically, if it continues in that way, I'm supposed to get my period tomorrow. And I haven't really been feeling period symptoms. I kind of been feeling a little bit of crampiness, but not full-on period symptoms, so I don't even know what's going on. So anyway, I take this one, and it does the same thing after the time frame. There's always like a little shadow of a line during the time frame, but it's not as dark as this one is. So I was like, okay, maybe these are evapes. I started doing some research on YouTube, and I started seeing people were having issues with this, and they're doing the evap on it after the time frame. But I'm like, I didn't see it on a DPO. Why did this one do that? Why did it happen with all of these? And then this is the one I took today. So I saw like the line show up during the time frame. I took pictures of it at the 3-minute mark, and I took it at 10. And then as it sat later on the day, I started seeing it was becoming more apparent or whatever, but there was a line there already. But if you look at this one here, it didn't do a darker plus line like the ones before did. It's visible, and I'll insert what it looked like when I did it within a time frame, but it's not as dark as these. So I'm not even sure what is really going on. And I still have the digitals in there. I have 2 digitals. I didn't take those because I just really don't know what's happening here. I've never seen this happen before with this before. So I have some Pregmates that I ordered. They're supposed to be coming today. I actually used those when I got pregnant with my last daughter, and they work really, really well. So what I want to see, and I'll come back and do a live with that one of me doing it in real time. I just want to see if anything comes up. If it comes up within the time frame aligned, then these actually are accurate, and maybe the urine wasn't as diluted as it needs to be, or maybe I didn't pee enough on it. I don't know, but I'm gonna find out. And then if I see something on those tests, then I'll go in and I'll do the digital maybe, or I'll wait and see if I actually do get my period, because I don't want to waste these tests. You know how expensive these things are, but it's just super duper weird. And I usually don't do videos on this kind of stuff because this is very personal to me, especially being that I have PCOS and it hasn't been an easy journey with me conceiving. I feel like my children are like my miracles. But I just wanted to share this with you because I don't know what's going on, and if you are experiencing the same thing, then this is a reference point for you. But at the end of the day, after I do the next test and then see if my period does show, if it doesn't show, whatever, and I am in fact pregnant, like I just want to have a documentation of this for my own understanding, and also, like I said, to help you guys out too. So that's it.
Okay, so I got my Pregmate package.
visible to the eye. I don't know. Maybe there's something going on. I'll check later. So I had blogged earlier on this week regarding some Clearblue tests that I had that paint lines were showing up, and I was like, I don't know if I really believe this because Clearblue and they're blue dye, and blue dyes tend to give you false positives. But I took some pregmates, as you guys saw in the previous video, and I was seeing some progressions. I will show you the chart that I made with the line progression because I wanted to see if it was going to turn out to be something viable or another chemical. And I was saying that I usually start bleeding like really early because my luteal phase is really short for some reason. And I made it to 13 DPO. And I also started getting nausea. I actually vomited. I'm like, okay, maybe, you know, this actually might be it. You know, I was getting excited. And then at 12 a.m. the following day, I woke up to go to the bathroom and I started to spot. And I'm like, okay, hopefully it doesn't get heavier, you know, and it got heavier. Then it stopped for a little bit and it continued on. And while this is going on, I was like, oh my God, another one, you know? And I did take another test to see what was going on that day. And it was like barely even visible, it was very faint. So I was like, all right, that's another chemical. So I continued to keep testing, thinking maybe like, cause I had gone to the bathroom a lot, like I was going really often to pee. I was thinking maybe my urine was like diluted or something like that, and that's why. So I did start to see some kind of lines show back up, but I don't know, I don't really think it really materialized into something that looked like it was going to be viable. Like I just took this test today. The bleeding had subsided. I thought it was gonna stop completely. So I took this test. I don't know if you can really see. Man, this quality is terrible. I'll put a picture because I don't think you can see what I'm talking about here. Or maybe you can. If you guys have those line eyes like I do, you might be able to see that. But the bleeding started to pick back up. So I know it's pretty much done at this point, and I'm thinking the bleeding should be done soon. So I'll just, you know, try to move forward, and you know, as I did before. Like I'm not as disappointed as I was when this happened before, but it does suck because I don't know what it is. Actually, I think I know why it keeps happening. I think it's my weight. Like I lost some weight since my last video, but I'm still heavy, and I feel like my body just can't take a certain amount of weight on it. And I feel like it's affecting a lot of different things in my body hormonally. And or maybe it could be being that my last pregnancy wasn't that long ago. My body hasn't got back right since then, so who knows. But I'm gonna wait for the bleeding to subside because, like I said, it's still going. And then I'm going to see how I feel. Hopefully I don't feel like any weirdness. If I do, then I'm gonna go and get my blood drawn. And I didn't do that now because I feel like it's pointless. Like I've been there before, gone, and they tell me it's either 0.1 HCG or less than 3%, and then like kind of makes you start to feel crazy because I know my body. Like sorry about that, I didn't have enough storage on my phone, so I had to clear some things out. But yeah, with having PCOS, like I feel like I had to like really know my body because my period would disappear for months on end, and then I would end up taking tests to find out what the hell's going on just to clear that out the way, and then it would show up later on. And I didn't know at that point what PCOS was. I had a feeling that something was off, but I thought maybe it might be normal. And if I finally got diagnosed with having it like a few years, actually recently I finally got diagnosed with it because I didn't really know what was going on up to that point. But because of having it, like I said, like I started to symptom spot and everything like that. And then when I was able to conceive my 2 children, I feel like I really knew what my body felt like when it was getting pregnant. So even before I took a test, I had a feeling something was off. And although, you know, it didn't materialize until what I would have liked a viable pregnancy. I know that I was pregnant. So for me to go to the urgent care or to my midwife and get blood drawn and the levels be low, and then like they try to say, oh, you're not pregnant, I feel like that's just gonna like make me feel like I'm crazy. I know I'm not crazy. But like I said, like if I feel like I'm off and maybe everything didn't just feel like it was supposed to, I will go there and like see if there's something can give me to get everything out. But yeah, it's just an unfortunate thing. Like this is like my 4th one. It's crazy. It's my 4th one. I think this is my 2nd or 3rd one this year. Like it's really crazy. I never had this happen to me like this before. It's either I saw nothing on the test or I saw something to materialize. Like for it to happen like this often, it's just really like, you know, really frustrating, you know. And I started not to even do this vlog about this, but when I was looking on the internet trying to find some glimmer of hope, thinking maybe this might be okay, the bleeding and the pregnancy will still be there wasn't that much information out there, like regarding implantation bleeding, because I thought maybe that might be it. And then like with pregnancy loss, I saw a few videos, but I just feel like people don't like to talk about this because it's so taboo. I don't know why, you know, like it happens. And I was seeing, I don't have the percentage in my mind like correctly, I don't think, but I know this happens like pretty often earlier on in the pregnancy, like before you even know, like before you even miss your period. And because a lot of people don't know their bodies like that, they just will think it's their period coming. But because like I said, I know how my body operates, I knew something was off. And if I didn't think to look before, then honestly I think I would have known either way, because if I didn't check before and the bleeding happened the way that it did, I would know something was off, because I don't bleed like this. Like the bleeding was like light and then really heavy, and there was a lot of blood clots. It wasn't really painful, because after having my kids, my periods are not painful like that, thank goodness. But the consistency of it was different, you know. And but yeah, so that's that. So to sum all this up, Clearblue, I guess, isn't as faulty as I thought. You know, like it did show up pregnancy, I think a little bit better than Pregnate, because I will show you like with my last pregnancy how Pregnate was showing on the stakes versus first response, because some might say, oh, it doesn't look positive to me. Like it doesn't have to be like bold to indicate HCG is present, which I realized with my last daughter. So I will show you that. But yeah, Clearblue, I'm not gonna sleep on them no more, because they didn't do me dirty this time, you know. So if you're seeing lines like what I have on your Clearblue, you could actually be pregnant, and hopefully your pregnancy will be viable and it'll continue, and you'll end up having a beautiful baby at the end. Or sometimes, unfortunately, you might have a CP, like I did, a chemical pregnancy. But that is all I wanted to come with you and tell you. I kind of wanted to just update you about what's going on, because it was just weird, you know. It was super weird, but that's what happened. And hopefully in the near future, if we do decide to try again, I will update you, let you guys know. But that is it for now, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.